All right. Good morning, everyone. So now we are into the revision part. So what is revision? First of all, we should know what we are going to do. What is revision? Midu? Recalling the memory. Okay. Isha? Recalling what we studied. Have you studied to recall? First of all, you have. Midu? Then you have studied. Okay, good boy. Uma, how's the study status going on? Right. Okay, so right. So from today onwards, what we are going to do would be fully focusing on the questions because now it's a revision time, no? So revision in the sense for a subject like tax, no point of going and revising the theories again. Then it will be like continuing whatever we have done up to now. So by now, either you came for the classes or self study or whatever the mechanism you used to study. Now it's the time to recall the things and how to apply the same thing in a exam condition. So that's why I requested those who coming for the physical classes bring your laptops so that we can start straight away from the questions and in the exam platform itself. Because personally, I believe we have to practice in the platform because it's something new, right? For some of you all, this is the first subject that you are doing in the skills level. And for some, this is the first calculation subject that you are doing in the skills level. If that is the case, we need to get used to the exam portal itself rather than spending our time on the Excel. So now we are moving on to the exact exam platform, and all the questions that we are going to practice will be on the platform itself. And it's not going to be a one-way exercise. We need to get used to timing as well. So we will select questions and I will give you time. You have to attend this first, then we will start revising. So while discussing these questions, we are going to revise all the theories that we have done as well. Through the questions, we are going to revise everything. Okay with the plan? Isha? Right. Okay, then let's move on to the platform. And I hope you guys know that there is a pre-mock that will be released on the second week of November, hopefully, by around 15th. You guys know that, right? Okay, there is something like that that is going to be released by ACCA themselves officially. So, hi, good morning. So, this pre-mock is, to be honest, it's going to be easy. Generally, the pre-mock is easy. The pre-mock is just to give us a guidance about how the paper structure would be and just to boost your confidence. So just because you are doing really well in pre-mock and you score around 80 to 90 in the pre-mock, don't think you're at the top of the world and everything is fine. You don't have to do anything. Exam paper will be as it is. It's not going to be the story. Because the actual exam is going to be a little tougher than the pre-mock. So our main target would be to finish off the portal questions, including the pre-mock. After they release it, we will discuss that as well in the class. And I want to do at least one BPP mock paper as well. Personally, I believe those papers are slightly tougher than your exam paper. So my principle is if you get used to how to tackle with the devil, you can easily deal with the angel, right? Hopefully, you know who's devil and who's angel, right? You don't need a tax definition for that, no? Right. Then straight away, let's move on to the portal. You guys also can go to the portal. Guys, everyone, let's move on to the ACCA portal. Does everyone know how to access the past papers from ACCA? Online, guys, I can see some new names. Are you guys aware about how to access the papers from the ACCA portal? Super. Then let's access the portal. You don't know? Okay. I'll show you the way that I have to use. For you guys, you can go from IACCA as well. But unfortunately, since I'm a fellow member, I don't have the student access. So if I log in from my ACCA, I don't have the access to papers therefore, but this method is applicable for anyone. So anyone who has a registered ID. So just go to ACCA Global, go to the bottom. In that you have a link called past exam papers. Just click that. Then you will see 3 qualifications that we have from ACCA. ACCA Foundation 1, that is FIA route, and the professional diploma, that is IFRS. They are providing a diploma. This is for that one. Go for ACCA one. What mock paper am I recommending? Mock paper in the sense, are you referring to whether I am recommending Kaplan or BPP? Is that the question? Right. Okay. So I would say you need better if you can practice both. If not, one from each, because Kaplan is good to boost your confidence and it is more or less in line with your ACCA exam paper as well. But like I said, BPP is slightly tougher. So to get used to face hard conditions, better to try one BPP as well. So if you don't have time to practice all 4 questions, at least one from each, give a try. Then you have the booster in hand with Kaplan, which is in line with your ACCA. And you have BPP, we are a little bit tougher. So you are, even if the examiner makes your exam a little tough, then you are okay to handle that situation as well. I'll share. That's why you come for the class. So papers and all, don't worry guys. We will discuss. Whatever the papers I am discussing with you out of the portal, I will share with you guys. So book, of course, either you have to purchase. But paper-wise, the papers that we are planning to do from BPP, I will share the papers with you all. So don't worry about that. Because book we can't share like that. The copyright problems are there. So we can just share books like that. But papers, of course, yes, we can discuss. Amna, are you okay? Right. Then just click the paper that we are looking at, tax. I just click the tax paper. Then you will come to a page like this. So in this page, you have all the resources you need. You have a small intro about taxation, which you should have checked 6 months ago. Now, no need to waste time on that. Then planning tool again, you can slightly still use that. Any article published current month possible? Yes, definitely guys. Don't worry about the articles. By next week, I will recheck on the articles and whatever I feel important to your exam, I will share the link with you guys on the WhatsApp group. Then syllabus is there, which again you should have checked 6 months ago, and whoever came for the classes, I discussed that on the first day. Then maths and English support, don't worry. The next one is tax rate tables. Again, that is there in your Kaplan book as well. Then exam, okay, study hub introduction. Now no point of checking that. By now you should have went through the study hub. Effective learning and revision, you can have a quick look at that. Then we have past exam questions and practice. After that, we have the most important thing which we don't even open usually, the examiner's reports. Just spend 10 to 15 minutes after we discuss the question in the class. Just spend 10 to 15 minutes at your home to go through this examiner's report, because this examiner's report highlights you what are the common mistakes that the students has committed during that exam session. You might feel, why should I check someone else's mistakes? The reason is we will also commit the same kind of mistakes. So it's better if we have an understanding about what are the common mistakes that we might do in the exam, so that we are prepared for that. So we don't commit the same mistake. We are good? So this examiner's report, don't underestimate the power of that. Once we finish off a paper in the class, just have a look at on that as well. We are good? Right. And before I start a paper, guys, few things I have to mention in advance. One, by now you should know each year these tax rates and certain principles and even certain bases are changing. So this year we had two major changes. One, the corporation tax calculation mechanism we fully changed. Earlier we had only 19% flat rate. Now we have moved into a different calculation method where we have two rates and a new introduction called a marginal relief. Correct? Sorry. Similarly, earlier, when it comes to individual taxation, we used a method called current year basis. Now that has fully taken out, and we have introduced a new method called tax year basis. But your past papers are not adjusted for these, no. So past papers are still on the past method. Therefore, when we are doing past papers, when we are doing the questions from the past papers, we have to be very careful, and certain assumptions we might have to make. Otherwise, we might not be able to attempt the papers. But we have to attempt the papers, so then only we can get the practice. Therefore, keep in mind when we are discussing these questions, I might tell some assumptions. Those are only for practice purpose. In your exam, this current year basis and tax year basis will not have an impact, because they have clearly informed that for your exam purpose, always your tax year will be equal to your accounting year. So that means it would be either 6th of April to 5th of April in your question, or 1st of April to 31st March in your question. So there won't be any confusions in your exam. We are okay? But when you're practicing past papers, we might have to come to certain assumptions just to ensure that we don't miss anything, and we somehow we have to practice the questions as well. We're good? Right. All right. Then let's move on. So I am going to the past paper portal. So in here, you have a link, resources, log into the practice platform. Click that. Yes, Kaplan and BPP exam kits, they update the questions. I agree. But the thing is, like I said, they have only 2 mocks. Kaplan has 2, BPP has 2. That's all they have. But we have to get used to the past paper pattern as well. So we need to have a quick look on the past papers also, because Kaplan has 2 recent past papers as the mock usually. BPP has couple of old past papers as the mock usually. But more the questions we do, more we get used to the things. And yes, that is why I want to practice the questions in the platform itself. But lucky you are not a starting batch of the new Finance Act. You are in the middle. So we have 2 or 3 papers That is done before you guys. So those are in line anyway. Yeah, good? Right. Yeah, I will come to that. Let's log in. I'm still logging in. Yeah, okay? Right. Then give your ICCA credentials to log in. Then you will log into a portal like this. Still loading. Safran, the answer for your question is we will discuss those in the class, and when we are discussing, I will share the papers with you guys in the group. Okay, guys, if you are using a laptop, on your right side, you will see this categories part, the paper that you need to assign. Agree? Can you see something like that on your right hand side? Okay. Go to the bottom. As the last one, you have taxation. Click the plus mark. Good morning. Right on time. Only 20 minutes late. Right, guys. Did you click the tax bar? The plus mark? Then you will have a breakdown list. So what's a variant that we are going to do? The variant is UK. So you are doing the UK tax version. Good. Go to the bottom. You have UK. The third one from the bottom. Again, click the plus mark. Then you have ACC official resources. Again, click the plus mark. Then you have something called past paper library, practice exams, and specimen exam. Can you see something like that? Right. The other thing, you know, your paper has three sections, right? What are the three sections? Wow, ABC, you guys know that. So you have section A, B, and C. A, what will happen? Right. Only MCQ. Sure. 100% sure. Okay. Correct. Sometimes they have matchings as well, guys. So yes, I agree with Devki's answer. It might have MCQs, mainly MCQs. It might have short answers, like giving one specific number. There can be sometimes matchings. Like one side they might have some criteria, the other side they might have a tax, for an example. Which criteria is relevant for which tax? They might ask you to map. Or sometimes they might ask you to tick. Fill in the blanks kind of ticks. These are the kind of questions that you might see in section A. So section A, you will have 15 such questions. Each will carry 2 marks. That means you are looking at 30 marks in section A. So your full paper is how many marks? Great. So 100 marks means this is containing which percentage from your full paper? Great. You know that, no? Good. So we are talking about your paper, 30% of that will be out of section A. No, you don't need to explain. Short answer in the sense, it will have to maybe plug a number or a word, fill in the blanks, those kind of situations. Section B would be the same. Then what's the difference? This will be sort of case study. So they will give you a small scenario. It's like a tiny scenario, not tiny, 1 page scenario kind of a thing. From the scenario, you have to answer to the questions. Again, that can be short answers, matching, tickings. or even fill in the blanks. No, those are also short things. So that will we will have that three such scenarios. Each scenario will have 5 questions. Each question will carry 2 marks. That means how many marks overall? 30 more. That means another 30%. Then section C would be full case study questions. So this will have Excel, sometimes even Word documents to answer. Fully scenario driven, normal essay pattern questions. We are good? Sometimes, example, they might tell you, okay, there is a guy who's married and he's selling some properties. Advise him what to do. So, advice you have to write. For which depends on the number of marks. If it is 2, but if they give the word, better to write in the word because they are not just giving the word for fun. So, if they give Word and Excel both to you, very rarely, if they do that, that means they want the calculation in the Excel and they want the explanation in the Word. Rarely they do that in the skills level. ATX, all the questions are like that. But still you're at the skills levels. Don't worry about ATX at the moment. So generally, if it is a written one, they will give a good morning. If it is a written one, they will give you only the Word document. If you need to do the numbers, they will give you a Excel. We're good? Hi, good morning. So then we will have 3 case study questions. First one will carry 10 marks. Second one will carry 15 marks. Third one will also carry 15 marks. So one 10-mark question, 2 15-mark questions. So altogether how many marks? 40. Good. So 40%. Now, I will tell you the biggest mistake that we do. We focus 100% on this. When we are studying, when we are practicing, we focus 100% on section C. There is another problem, that is your past papers, you have only section C kind of questions in the portal. You don't have section A and B questions for past papers in the portal. So that disadvantage also you have. So everything is aligning to section C, So we fully focus on section C. Now assume you scored full marks. Still will you get through the exam? No, right? Still you are 10 marks behind. So the biggest mistake we do is we ignore these 2 sections, which I don't want to do. Because section A and B, without that you cannot get through the exam. That is clearly evident with the split of the marks, right? Even if you score full marks in section C, still you are failing the exam because that is only 40 marks. You need 50 to get through. That means we have to focus on A and B as well. An equal weightage we have to give. I would say a higher weightage for A and B even, because it carries 60 marks, right? And the other problem, guys, according to global researchers and my experience both, this section A, we don't score that well. Even though we have 30 marks, generally the average score would be around 10 to 15. That's a general thing. Okay, not 15, it will be 10 to 16. This would be the average. So we have a problem there, right? Why? One reason is lack of practice. But the most biggest problem is section C, even if your final answer is wrong, for your steps you are getting marks. Your steps are correct, in certain questions you can even score the full marks. even your final answer carries some casting errors because the marks will be allocated to the steps in section C. But when you move on to section A and B, only the final answer will be there. Steps are not there. Workings are not there. So if your final answer is wrong by any chance, you are losing the full marks. That means the risk at that stage is high. Agree? That is why generally people score low in section A and B. The lowest marks are for section A. Second lowest is section B. Even though we think C is tough, averagely, the marks for C is much higher than A and B sections. We are good? Section C also you guys make a big mistake. That is you focus on the final answer only. I have seen that in lot of students. You focus on the last answer, which doesn't carry any mark at all in 90% of the time. Your focus is only on the last number, so you forget steps. You just ignore the steps and you try to derive the final answer. Guys, that is not required. Focus on the steps. Focus on giving a proper working because that is where you have the marks. Final answer maximum will carry 0.5 marks. That's it. Most of the time that is also not there. You are having marks only for your steps. So don't ignore the steps. Each step that you have studied, you have to follow those steps because marks will be allocated for those. I have seen lot of papers, lot of answers during my career. You don't follow the steps, your final answer is correct, but you are not getting a single mark because marks are given for the steps. So make sure you follow a step-by-step structured approach so that we can score the full marks. Clear? Second thing, when it comes to section C, we put workings in wherever we want. Isn't it? Start one on the left side corner, another one in the right side corner, in the middle there is something else. That is our working style, right? Wherever we want, we put the numbers. Excel is given, so who cares about the examiner, isn't it? But we will have to consider about that because think from a human perspective. If you are the examiner and you get that kind of answer, what is your response? Do you think a different response will be given by your examiner? It's not an AI, right? That is also human. He will also have feelings, he or she. Isn't it? It's not a robot. More proper you present, the possibility of getting proper marks is higher. Because few marks will be allocated for your presentation as well, guys. Come to professional level, you have 20 marks allocated to your presentation and ethics, not just 1 or 2 marks. So we have to get used to that pattern from here itself. Because the presentation is very, very important when you climb up the ladder. Not just in the exams, when you move to the working world, corporate world, even if you are running on your own business, this presentation is very, very important. Now you might think, okay, I have my father's business, so why should I care about a job? Guys, presentation is not only about your job. Even if you run your father's business, you go to a client and just bluff whatever you want, will you get the business? No, right? You have to present to him what you are offering to him. So if you don't, improve your presentation skills, how are you going to do that to your client? It's not just about the exam, it's about your whole life. If you don't know how to present properly, you will have a question mark in your career. It can be a business, it can be your employee, whatever. You need presentation skills much more than anything else. We are good? Right. So section C, make sure you have a proper presentation method. Yeah, okay? Sorry. These are the basic things that I wanted to have a chat with you all before we start a specific paper. How many marks you have in the paper? Right. How many minutes you have? 3 minutes. Okay, minutes? 180. So then how much of a time you have for one question? 1 mark. 1.8. Target for 1.5. Don't. Right. C has only 40%. Again, you're underestimating E and B. Wait till the end of the today's class. Then ask the same question from me. After you see section A and B, then raise the question. So, guys, I would say focus on 1.5 minutes in general for a question, because you need to have some time to go and revise as well, right? Certain questions you might not know the exact answer, so you might have to skip it and go or whatever. Agree? And there are certain shortcuts that we can use to manage the time while we are doing the questions. I will explain you what are those small exam tactics that we can use so that we can save the time when we are practicing the questions. Finally, let's say you don't know anything about a question. What should you do? Exactly. You have option called flag. I'll show that to you after I open a paper. Flag the question, move to the next one. Don't waste time on rethinking on the same thing. If not sure, flag it, move to the next one. Finish off everything else that you are confident about. Then you can check what are the flag questions. You don't need to remember the question number even, because once you flag everything, you can just check with one click in your portal. So all those tech resources are given to you. So then go back to the flag questions and try to answer to those questions. And you don't have something called negative marks, so you don't have to worry about whether your answer is wrong. Even if you don't know anything, just write something. Don't keep blank. At least for the presentation, you will get few marks, even that might be okay, no? So don't keep blank. So write something, even if you don't know anything. That works. I tried that with one paper. I got 50 of bluff out of bluffing. So don't worry about that. Sometimes it works. So those who came to my class knows that. You guys know, right? I didn't tell. No, I told. I told my CA audit paper. I told, right? You can't count. You come whenever you want only, know. So those who came equally to the class, didn't I tell? How I did my CA audit paper? Come on. I told. I tell that in every class. How I did my CA audit paper. Without even knowing the structure of the paper. I got exactly 50. And the reason? Okay. Now you remember. Good. So that means you can do it, right? If I can do it, anyone can do it. Japanese theory. Sri Lankan theory is what? Someone can do it, let him do. Why should I bother? No one can do it, how can I do it? It is our theory, right? But I would prefer the Japanese theory. Someone can do it, I also can do that. If no one can do it, let's give a try, then I can be a legacy. Isn't it? So let's stick to that theory. I feel that is better for a good career. Isn't it? Right. Now let's move on to a paper. So like I said, I am not starting from past papers, I am starting from mock papers. That is the reason, like I said, for past papers, we have only section C questions. But I don't want to underestimate section A and B, as I said. So we'll do some A and B questions first, where you usually lose marks. Then we'll do C questions as well. Okay? Right. Okay, wait. So once you click, you will have I have assigned the paper, so it comes as unassigned to me. For you guys, you will see something called assign. So first, let's see the specimen. There are a lot more papers they have removed from the portal. It was there till the last week. They have removed most of the papers now. Lucky you. So you guys are a lucky batch, it seems. Not to me, thank them. Right. Can you see one specimen is there? FA 2023. And you have option saying assign, a blue color button. Click that. Then on left side, you will see something like this. Whatever you assign will come here. Agree? Can you see a specimen is appearing? Right, let's click that and see. FA 23, yes. Actually, wait, we'll start with the pre-mock. So you guys don't have the access right now. We'll go from my screen. Questions will appear. Then you guys can attend the question. But that is also problematic. For A and B, we'll do that. Section C, scenario we'll get from my screen since you guys don't have the access. And then answer, I'll show you how to open a blank workbook in the portal. We can construct the answer in a blank workbook. We're good? I don't want to deviate from the portal right now. Let's try in the portal itself. We'll start with the pre-mock. So I'll show from my screen. You guys can answer from my screen. No? Okay, this will be there in your paper as well. Read it. These are the paper instructions. You have to get used to read that as well. Okay. Don't worry, sir. Maybe we'll just move ahead. I'll share the questions from my screen. You guys go ahead with the answer. We are good? Now read the exam instructions for section A. At least today read it. I know you are not going to read it in the exam. Knowing you guys, I know you don't do that. At least read now. Screen is not clear, is it? Now? Soumya, are we okay now? Right. Guys, can you all go through the exam instructions at least today? Done. Wow. Keep that speed. Okay, this is question number 1. Can you read it? You can come for the
Sir,
final.
could you please zoom it? It's not clear.
If I zoom more, you can see the full question.
It is not clear.
Oh. For physical guys, you can come front. I think after that you can see. Online, what can we do? Okay. Can you see it now? This is a max that we can zoom in. Otherwise, you guys cannot see the question. Physical guys, is it visible for all now? Still no. Omar? Online guys? Students who have joined online, is it visible now? Okay, manageable, right? Okay. Read the question and figure out the answer. It's 2 marks, so you know how many minutes you have. Sorry? You have 3.6 minutes, so. Online students, please share your answer in the chat so I can have an idea about where we stand. I don't trust that. But that's not me. So don't trust that. You can trust me, not this one. It's not me. Okay, I already got one answer from online. Fourth one. If my tick is this tick was here? Okay, it is there. What is the answer? Why? Okay, everyone, I need the answers. I got 3 answers from online already. The others, please drop your answer. Midhu, what is your answer? Great, I got 4 answers from online. 5. Fourth one. Midhu? Fourth. Isha? Ima? Fourth. Fadil? Fourth. Uma? Fourth. Second. Right. Okay. Those who say fourth, what is the reason? Right. Okay. Let's read the question. Mia works full time in Spain and was not a UK resident in the tax year 2023 to 2023. During the tax year 2023-2024, she spent a total of 60 days in UK. Which of the following statement regarding Mia's residence status for the tax year 2023-2024 is true? Now let me ask a question. Let's say when you read these options, first one feels like correct. What should you do? Click it and move to the next one. Second one. Okay. So coming back, the original question. Even if you feel the first one is correct, don't just ignore the rest and move forward to the next one, because with one word the entire answer can change. So check all the options before you come to a final conclusion. We are good? Right. So statement number 1, Mia is automatically UK resident. We don't have any data to come to a conclusion about she's resident. Mia will only be UK resident if she has at least 3 UK ties. No, I don't agree with that as well. Third one, Mia will only be UK resident if she has 4 UK ties. Again, no. Mia is automatically not UK resident? Yes. Why? Because we had some non-residential criteria. Number 1, what was the criteria number 1? The test one? Yeah. Less than 16 days. You stayed less than 16 days in UK, then we consider as non-resident. What's the second criteria? Less than 46 days. Is it all?
No, in 3 years.
Last 3 years, you should be non-resident as well. Right. What's the third criteria?
Overseas 91.
Great. Full overseas work full time and less. Yeah, what's happening? Sorry? Can I also join? I also know the reason. I also can join. Right, guys, focus. Now it's not theories, questions. Now we need to focus. we have limited time and I want to do the maximum number of questions so that we are fully prepared for the exam. So now we are serious. 4 months we had for fun and learning, now serious. Right. So yes, the last one is less than 91 days and full-time overseas work. That is the option that they have given at the end, right? That criteria is met. If that is met, automatically Mia is going to be a non-resident. We all agree? Sorry. Clear? Great. So I go for this one. Then the next question. Okay. Louise has an annual salary of £57,000. She received a child benefit of £2,902. What amount of child benefit tax charge must Louise pay for the tax year? Can you guys quickly calculate? Not as straightforward as you think. Sorry. Guys, quickly. Okay, I already got few answers online.
Second one. Your thing.
Second one. You did the calculation?
Yes.
7,000 divided by 100 into
70% into child benefit.
70%.
yes.
Yes.
What is 70%?
If it is 50,000.
Okay.
It's 6,000.
Okay.
So let's divide
1% by 100.
by 10% into child benefit.
Correct. So yeah, I agree. So what you need to do, how did we calculate the child benefit? What was the base for that?
50,000.
What is less than 50,000?
Yeah.
Great. A9, adjusted net income. If that is less than 50,000, no child benefit income tax charge. If it is more than 60,000, full child benefit received will be considered as a child benefit income tax charge. If it is in between 50 to 60,000, we took the excess over and above 50,000, and every £100 slot we charge 1% of the benefit you received. Agree? So here you have 57,000. So if I just move on to here, full amount will be charged. So you have 57,000 here. So the limit is 50,000. So you have 7,000 excess. Divide by 100 means you have 70 slots. So 70 slots means you are having 70%. So the child benefit received is 2,902. So this into 2,902. What's the answer?
2031.
So the correct answer would be 2000. This should be the correct answer, right? Are we all okay on how we derive the answer? Any questions? Sorry, all are okay? Uma? Idu? Right. Then can I move forward to the next question? Right. Okay. Now how can I zoom this? Can you try this one as well? This is from group text. Sorry. Yes, Shah. No. Obviously after chapter 5. Guys, believe this is your exam, no? Please can't be. Neither way. Breeze. Which group? So you have two groups we are talking about here, no? Group relief group, chargeable gain group, both or neither. Those are the options we have, no? Yale is neither. Okay. Breeze. Breeze both. Okay. Right. Let's read the scenario. Okay. How can I spell this company? Okay. Z holds 80% of the ordinary shares of Q Limited and 60% of the ordinary shares of Gale Limited. Q holds 85% shares of the ordinary shares of Breeze Limited. So if you get a question like this, what should be your first step? Exactly. Try to draw it. It will not take more than 1 minute. No, just draw it. So we have Z to start with, right? We have Z. So Z holds 60%, 80% of Q. So Q is here. Z hold 80% of Q. That I think we all are clear. Then it also owns 60% of G. So that means we have G. We have 60% here. Then Q owns 85% of B. This is a group structure, right? So for G, is it forming a part of chargeable group relief group? No. Chargeable gain group? No, because you don't have the 75% effective ownership is not there here. So G is coming under neither of the groups. So for G1, you can easily say neither group. Agree? So G G and Z doesn't have the effective 75% ownership structure. Therefore, if you don't have the 75% ownership structure, you cannot be a part of a group relief group, or you cannot be a part of the chargeable gain group. So G is out. We agree with that? Sorry. Then B. Q owns 85% of B, right? Agree? And Q is owned 80% by Z. That also we agree. If so, what will happen? Can they become part of chargeable gain group? Can. Group relief group? Both. How?
Because Q is B, and also Z is Q.
Hmm.
So which means it can directly have
But between these two, do you have the 75% ownership structure?
did they say
80 into 85 would be the effective rate, right? So how much is that? 68%. So do you have the direct ownership? 75% is not there, right? That means can you create a group relief group? What do you think? Keep in mind, they are not asking all three together. They are asking what kind of a relationship Z can create with B. Agree? So to create a group relief group alone, if so, you need to have 75% ownership structure. Agree? Which is not here. But chargeable gain group you can form here. Agree? So the answer would be gain, you can't fall it into either of the groups, but breeze can fall into a chargeable gain group only. Group relief group you cannot create because there is an intermediary company, you are voting through the intermediary. And once you collate, you don't have 75% ownership structure. So 80 into 85%. Because Z owns only 80% of Q, and Q owns only 85% of B. We are okay? This question we are good? Any questions? Devaki? Uma? Yeah, okay. Right. Then I'm moving on to the next question. Right. Can you try this one? Okay, I only got one answer from online. Two answers. Three. Guys, everyone, please try. See, it's very simple question. Okay. I just remember someone said half an hour for section A is enough. Okay. So for one question, you are taking around more than 5 minutes now. Now you can understand what I said about A and B, right? This is just A. Wait for B. The first option is 96 and the second is 85, right? It's not that clear. First option is 95, second option is 85, third option is 50, the last option is 70.
So I go with
85. 85. 85. Imad? 85. Isha? 76. Okay, so what is your answer then? If it was exam, which one you would have picked? You have to pick an answer if it is exam. 70. Option 4. Fadil? Okay. That is Shan, no? Fadil? Yeah, 85. Fadil? 95. Uma? 70. Kevaki went for 85, right? Okay. I got few answers online as well. Good. Sorry. Okay, let's read it. For the tax year 2023-2024, Ethan made a trading loss of £97,000 and he had employment income of £12,000. For the tax year 2022-2023, he made a trading profit of £20,000 and had employment income of £75,000. How much of the 97,000 trading loss could be set off against Ethan's total income for the tax year 2023-2024? What do you guys think? Why 85?
Setting up previous is employment income,
Okay.
and the balance can be kept in
Right. First of all, you guys need to get one thing clear. That is, first step, they are not referring that you have to set off the current year first. They are not talking about the current year. So that means you have to tell maximum how much you can set off against the previous year. That we all agree. If you are going for the previous year, there are two kinds of income that you have to set off. You have trading income, you have employment income. Agree? For trading income, any amount you can set off. But for other income, you had a limit, right? If you are going for the total income, for the other income, you had a limit. Remember? 25% of your ATI, adjusted total income, or 50,000. Remember, we had something like that? 25% of your ATI, or 50,000. Adjusted total income. Yes. So 50%, so 25% of your ATI or 50,000, whichever is higher, was what we granted, right? I mean, the maximum cap, that is the max. So in this case, 50,000 will become the cap, right? You can't go beyond 50. Agree? So even though you have 75,000 in your employment income, you can set off the loss only up to 50,000. Agree? So trading income 20,000, employment income 50,000, then how much you can set off? They are not mentioning anything about the current year. They are asking previous year how much you can set off. They are giving specific tax year. 2022, 2023 is the previous tax year. So they are asking for that specific tax year, the previous tax year, how much you can set off. So there is no rule that you have to set off current year and then you have to go back. There is no such rule. It is a taxpayer's decision against which year are you going to set off, or you are going to use both, whatever. That is taxpayer's decision. We are okay? So we have to compare these two. 25% of your ATI or 50,000. Compare those two. That is going to be your cap. Yeah, okay? In this case,
50,000 or 25% into 95.
yes, out of those two, higher will be your cap. So 50,000 is higher, right? So your cap would be 50,000 therefore. Agree? That means up until your ATI becomes 200,000, always 50,000 would be the cap. Isn't it? So 20 plus 50 would be 70.
So it's not 95. In 75,000 would be 25%. Right?
Yes, but in simple terms, if your ATI is less than 200,000, always 50,000 would be your maximum cap, isn't it?
In this case, ATI is 75. That's what I.
Not 95. 75 plus 20 or just 75 would be.
That's the question. ATI
95.
95.
Yeah.
ATI is 95.
If we get
27, 20.
20 from trading, 75 from employment, that is your total income. Agree? And if you had any personal pensions, you could have considered that as well. We are okay? Chapter number. You had a chapter for loss reliefs?
last year,
Yes. Not corporation tax, individual. Either.
50,000 plus trading profit API.
Yes. Correct. Clear? These are tiny points, but frequently tested. This 50,000 story cap is something that they test frequently in the exam, mainly in section A. We are good? How we derived on this answer, are we okay? Right, I have a question online. If nothing said, do we need to first deduct for the previous year? If nothing said, it's the taxpayer's call. So whatever most beneficial for the taxpayer, go for that. Like if you are not losing any personal allowance current year also, go ahead for the current year first. But if I try to go against the current year and I am losing the personal allowance, then go for the previous year first. Right. You know there is something called personal allowance. Right. Then when you deduct loss reliefs, there is a possibility that you might lose your personal allowance. Right. If that happens, setting off against the current year, is it benefited for you? And then go back. Agree? And in your marking schemes, most of the times they like to go for the previous year first, because when you amend the previous year's return, and by any chance if it is creating a refund, you will get an interest on that as well. So cash flow wise, it's a good option for you. Therefore, most of your marking schemes prefer to go for the previous year first if they ask you what is the most benefited method for the taxpayer. It all depends on the requirement. If they ask for the most benefited method, generally they prefer to go 1 year back, because that will create you an interest for the refund as well.
So it's the first step.
Check tax at me.
Got it.
Right. Yeah, okay. Then 25% of ATI. Yeah, we are taking the higher, no? We are good? Ishak? All okay? Sure? Sachin, are we okay? I think I answered your question, right? Great. Can I move on to the next option? Voice. Right. Which of the following are taxable income? Okay, go ahead. I told you, don't trust these things. Sorry? I will definitely ask why. Especially from Shah. Because I know Shah has studied properly. So anyway, if he says the answer, I will ask why. Okay, I already got one answer, second and fourth. Two answers.
Did you ask the same question in mock exam?
No, something different. Guys, quickly. These are the kind of questions that you can save time. Quick answers. Chapter 2. You studied, right? Only 4 months ago. Remember your age? Yeah? Shah? Remember your age? Okay. So, how long before? So, 4 months you can remember, right? Second and fourth, I got another answer. We discussed several times. Government securities. I don't know. You tell me. You have studied now, right? Second and fourth. Fadil Shan. I didn't hear exactly the voice. Shan. Okay. What's the reason, Shan? Which is anyway exempted? What is ISA? Good.
What's the limit? By
Good. Finally, study. Okay, guys, let's analyze premium bonds. Is it taxable? If you check the note, that is the first one that we are saying exempted. Chapter 2, third one. Guys, this is chapter 2. 2. Premium bonds was under that. Yeah, premium bonds was right next to gambling, lotteries, and premium bonds. Right? So, first one is not taxable. Second one, interest received from NSNI investment account. Taxable. Who says taxable? Who says exempted? Okay, Imad Chan, Fadil, what do you guys say? It's exempted. Okay. Which one also you don't know? Second option. Is it taxable or exempted?
Taxable.
Taxable. Shah? Imad?
I don't know. Yes, I forgot this one. So,
Good boy. Honest boy, you know. Write that clearly in the exam. No? So for your honesty, examiner is going to give you marks. No, truly.
the exam something and they, yeah, be honest.
Put something.
Now I found it.
Finally. Good boy.
Except in those, I understand
So after 4 months, you have that question.
No, because short notes don't explain much.
Okay. National securities and investment. Yeah. So guys, NS and I, when we were doing, I clearly told you there are two kinds. NS and I, interest or dividend, yes. But if we are talking about an investment account, that is a different story. Certificate is different, investment account is different. Certificate is exempted, investment account is taxable. Yes. This is also the same thing, but a different kind of a arrangement. So, investment account, if you are getting any interest or dividend from NSNI, that is taxable. So, second one is taxable,
If it was certificate, it's exempt.
exempted. The dividends received from ISA, exempted. Interest received from gilt-edged securities, we can tax. Interest received from ISA, exempted. So 2 and 4 would be the correct answer. And I hope you guys are clear with the reasons now. Right. Then I'm moving on to the next one. Okay, guys, quick. Come on, Ishak, independent. Okay, I got one answer already.
So growth means it's already
Sorry?
100%, right?
Sorry, I didn't.
Growth means it's already
yeah.
negative. Say in this machine, they just say made a personal pension, then you are taking as negative.
Yeah. 15,000. Answer B. Okay. I got one B and one C. So who asked the question? Guys, quick. This should be your bread and butter by now. Okay, I got two more answers from online. Yes, what's so funny? Ah, it's good. Smart boys. Obviously, it's wrong. Sorry? I didn't say 70,000. Someone has fixed it. Eh? Annual allowance. Okay, out of the five, who's the strongest? Out of the five boys, who's the strongest? Fadil. Who's the strongest? Physically.
Why?
So there's a bucket full of water. Put it in on this fellow's head. That's easy, no? It was 40,000, Vishal. Annual allowance was 40,000. Not 1 million. I hope your other buddy will not tell the same answer tomorrow. Guys, come on. Quick. Devaki, what's your answer? 15,000. Uma? 25,000. 45,000. Fadil? Shan is still looking for the chapter, that's okay. Imad? Imad, what's the answer? Same. Same here. Ishak? 45.
So, 67,500, so I'm going to 70,000.
Okay. Vidusha? 70. How? Something similar to what Fadil is saying. In the exam, it could be only 1 mark difference. 49 and 50 could be only 1 mark difference. Okay, guys, let's see. Lucy made a gross pension contribution. Guys. Lucy made a gross personal pension contribution, £85,000 for the tax year 2023-2024. Her adjusted income for the tax year was 290,000. She had no unused annual allowances brought forward. Okay, fine. 290,000. Does that figure click something in your mind?
It's above the limit.
Reduce.
Okay.
That's
Then?
reduction.
Okay. How much is the reduction? Okay. What is the value then? 25,000. Is it? I'm asking you.
So it should be just the net income, so pension plus 290. 290
So-
plus 85.
First of all, what is the question they are asking?
Annual allowance charge.
Okay. Did you calculate annual allowance charge? What you are saying, is it the annual allowance charge? You are saying the annual allowance, not the charge. Agree? What is annual allowance charge? Okay. How do you calculate annual allowance charge?
40,000 plus unused allowance.
40,000 plus?
Unused allowance. Unused allowance.
What we discussed was if your actual pension contribution is over and above the allowable annual allowance, balance amount, the excess, will be charged, right? That's what we discussed. Agree? Then rework out. Finally. Now explain how you got 70,000.
So adjusted income is 209,000
Mhm.
minus 240,000 the delay into 50%, which is 25,000. That is the reduction in annual. So from 40,000, when we subtract 25,000, now 50. Yeah, so 15,000 is the annual allowance given. So 15,000 is the allowance given, but the pension contribution is 85. So the excess amount is 70,000. So which we charge annual allowance charges.
Finally. So let's put the numbers into the sheet.
Was so much compared with the economic-
290,000 is your income. We had a limit, 240,000. Gap is how much?
50.
From this, 50% was the reduction. That means how much?
25.
25. This is the reduction. So your annual allowance is 40,000. That reduced by 25,000 means how much is annual allowance? 15,000. How much is the actual contribution? 85,000. So how much is the excess which needs to get taxed? 70. Now are we clear?
240,000.
Adjusted income.
Plus pension,
Yeah. But they say whatever given is adjusted income, right?
so can you scroll down?
Adjusted income. They are not saying her taxable income or net income. They are not referring to something like that. They straight away say it is the adjusted income. So whatever the pensions and all that you are talking about is included in that itself. Clear? Correct. So here they are saying it's a gross amount as well.
Sir,
I know.
50% of
80.
50,000 is what, sir? 25.
That is a reduction in annual allowance.
So, annual allowance is 40,000.
Reduce 25,000.
Anarchy, you have asked to repeat it again. Are we okay now? Great. Shan, are we okay?
Data, know the topic
40,000.
theory. If I know the theory, the question is being
How much are the usually?
If you know the theory,
the question is being so confusing. How this go on?
questions are confusing. I told you. So, it's just a start. So that's why we wanted full 1 month only to practice questions.
This is so effective.
So it's just the first day. So we have 3 more weeks to practice questions after today.
So Thursday also.
For theory students, yes.
We should do that.
Actually, we can open it for everyone.
So what is the 15,000, sir? 15,000 is 40. Okay, what is it?
That is the annual allowance that is remaining for you. Remaining.
That's the maximum.
No, theories are done now. Syllabus is covered, guys. No more theories are there.
So 70,000 is remaining.
70,000 is what is going to get taxed. That is going to get charged as a part of your non-savings income. Remaining is
Then
50,000.
we can get it for 3 years.
50,000.
We can carry forward and annual.
Can, but you are using it now. That's why 85,000 becomes 70,000, right? Otherwise, entire 85,000 would have taxed. So your unused amount is going to be zero now. Are we good? Sure? Midhu? Yeah, what is it out?
7,000 is
Charge for non-savings income. Is it a trade? Is it a dividend? Then why should we charge for dividend or trading? Pension was under which category? That okay now? Thank you, Fadil. Guys, any questions? So, like I told you at the beginning itself, guys, your tax paper is not going to be a very structured paper where you have to just plug in the numbers. It's not going to be like that. We have to think around. Questions are like this. Won't be straightforward. But if you know the concepts properly, just about application. If you don't know the concepts, if you try to take it by heart, then God bless you in the exam. If you know the concepts, then even the God can't fail you in the exam. Sorry? All the chapters, will they be tested? How many chapters you have? 22. How many marks you have? Right. So then, can't be test. Okay, guys. He has a question. A valid question. He has a valid question. Will all the chapters be tested? How many chapters are there in the syllabus? Right. So how many marks are there? So how many marks do we need to allocate for one chapter if I am to test all the chapters? 2.5 I can allocate for each chapter, right? 4.5, yeah. So that means I can test. So guys, tax, the biggest mistake. I said a lot of big mistakes. This is also a big mistake where you try to do a target study. That will not work because there were instances where even corporation tax was not tested. Instead of that, 10 marks was there from tax administration itself in section C. So don't try to skip chapters. That would be a huge mistake. Don't try to skip. That's why I told you from the beginning itself, I am not skipping anything in the syllabus because I don't want to take that risk. Whatever there in the syllabus, we have to cover. We can't skip even a single thing. Yeah, okay? Shan? Right. Moving on to the next one. Sorry. Okay, quickly try this.
This tax element.
There is something called tax administration. For you, we haven't done that yet. The others? Quickly, the answer. Tax administration. We did. That's why we gave the recording. Or else you have another option. In the section C, you have Word document, no? Put a asterisk in bold, make it italic and say, sorry, the day that the lecturer taught this in the class, I was not there. So give me the marks. We can try that as well. What do you guys think? Guys, everyone, quickly try this one. These are the straightforward questions, guys. As straightforward as you can get. You can't get a question straightforward than this. Guys, everyone, please try. I got one answer from online.
Minimum of 3. 5% plus above 2. Above. It's parameter. So they didn't say that deliberate those.
Okay.
So should we go
Is
for
the deliberate part applicable here?
That's for more than 12.
Yes.
5%.
Guys, come on. Okay. Midu? Imad? Ishak is still thinking the chapter. Found the chapter. Great. Say okay? Chapter is tax administration. Online, guys, I got only one answer from online as well.
1,260.
How did you derive at the answer?
100 for the fixed term.
Okay.
And the eligibility 10. So 90 days can maximum division is 90 days. It is 3 months. So that one plus the 5,300 into 5%. That is 265.
Okay.
We can divide 1,260. 100 plus 10 into 90 plus 5,300 into 5.
Okay, guys. Step one. Okay, let's try to drill it down. Step one. When you get a penalty related question, first of all, figure out we had different kinds of penalty. Which penalty are we talking about? Right. So that we have done. Late filing. So late filing, what was the penalties we had depending on the delay of the late filing? We had a mechanism to calculate. Agree? That we all agree? Right. Then figure out how much is the delay. How much is the delay here?
10 months.
6 months. What should have been the deadline to file the return?
31st
31st
Jan
Jan. Which year?
2025.
Right, then how many months is the delay?
October, November, December.
31st Jan 2024.
4. 10 months.
10.
February.
No, 9 months.
9 months. Right. The delay is 9 months.
Yeah.
If it is 9 months, what was the calculation mechanism? 100 pounds plus 90 per day for, 10 per day for 90 days. So that means 900,
What's the first time you know?
100. Flat 100
100.
plus 10 per day for 90 days. That is 900. 100 plus 900 is
1000.
1000. Then tax due into 5% or 300, whichever is higher, right?
Yeah, 300 is higher. So 300.
Higher, not lower.
That's
So 1000 plus 300 is how much?
1000.
Alright, then what is the answer? Third one. Now we are okay.
Yeah.
This is how you drill down the tax admin question. I told you, one word will define your future. Because we say subject to a minimum of 300. That's what told in the bracket. If you check the bracket, that's what told in the bracket. Subject to a minimum means where do we prefer what maximum? Agree? Right. So guys, when we are dealing with tax admin, this is an area where students go very low again, but straightforward. Nothing to think. First, identify which category they are referring to, because we had lot of fights and lot of interest. Which category are we talking about? First of all, figure it out that. Depending on that, derive on your answer. So this one you did drilling properly. You just carried away with few words. We are okay? Clear? Midhu, we are good? Right. Sorry. Okay. Try this one as well. Again, a very easy one, guys. You don't need more than 1 minute to do this. This is again as easy as it can get. Now clear? Okay.
Each of payment.
So payment of account means you can have two payments. So for one payment, how much you need to pay? Great, I received one answer online. Good. And guys, if you guys don't mind, this week can we do instead of Thursday, Tuesday after? So just a heads up. We can. I mean, we were doing the afternoon sessions anyway. So now it's open for everyone who joined today. Anyone, you guys can join. So can we make it instead of Thursday for Tuesday only for this week? Because this Thursday we have an event at ACCA. So any one of y'all can join. So, because this Thursday I am out because that event I am the one who's organizing, so I have to be there in the event this week. So, event will go from around 3 to 5. So, I think they have sent you guys emails. If you are interested, join the event as well. It's about CV preparation and interview preparation. So, interested, join that. So, because of the event, I won't be able to conduct this Thursday. So, that is why only for this week, we wanted to shift for a different date. So, you have two options actually, no one. Because weekends I can't touch for the TRG because we have planned in a such a way where we don't clash with other TRG classes. So, it would be a weekday afternoon there. Same time in the sense? Yeah. 6:45, yes, correct.
So,
Yeah.
so now, what I'm trying to understand is, they're asking what will be the amount of carriage payment to not is self-employed. So there's 2 and 4 plus 2 and 4 calculate from the.
Okay.
So 2 and 4 already given for 22, 23.
Okay.
So for then 23, 24, like on what amount we calculate the 2 and 4?
Tax admin. Payment on account. The last class that we did. Time for the Tuesday one, let's make it 6:45 to 8:45.
Last week.
Sure.
No, this time.
Last time when boys didn't come, no? Only one boy was there. One boy was in a funeral, but I heard some other voices talking about that. The other boy was missing.
Did you ask?
He's not even answering the phones.
Yeah, I did ask.
That other boy was missing. Right in front of you. Great, Soumya. So no worries. Guys, it's open for anyone. So we will continue doing questions only, nothing new. No theories. Through questions, we will be discussing theories. So anyone can join. I will confirm the link after discussing with the admin staff because I don't know the usage of the links, but if the link is changing, we will share a different link for you all. Okay, guys, the answer. Quick. Good answer. Midhu? Imad, you were there in the class. I know everything, but not know the answer, no?
What are they?
Okay.
It's under the impression to calculate interest.
Okay. Can you recall we had something called tax administration?
Yeah.
Great. So under income tax administration, we said if an individual is paying tax, there are two methods. That is return submission. So if it is a payment, we had two mechanisms. One, payment on account. The other one is others. Payment on account is coming into the picture if last year your PAYE was over and above, last year your income tax liability was over and above your PAYE. Isn't it, Isha? If the phone was on, you could have known that. Iman, remember something like that? Right. Now, Payment on account, how did we calculate? Last year's tax liability, which was above PAYE, divided by 2. That's what we simply did, right? So in this case, do we have a PAYE? No, because this person is self-employed, not employed. If you are self-employed, you don't have a PAYE. Then how do we derive the number? 8664. How?
Make first payment on 13,000. Oh, class 4.
I am asking from you guys. How did you get your answer? What is 12,570? Okay. We are talking about tax liabilities here. Income tax is the income tax liability. Ima?
So we can make a payment on income tax or class 4.
So 13,500 plus 3,370 divided by 2. That's your answer. How much is? And Fazil, meantime, how did you derive on yours? Okay. So you knew that, but you didn't try. Agree? So simply your. Okay, Faz, explain. Explain. How did you get the answer?
Payment of accounts, it's income tax divided plus class 4 NIC divided by 2.
Simple as that.
So it's 30,500 plus 3370 divided by 2 on payment of account.
That is 8,435. Class 2 is a weekly payment, right? It doesn't have anything to do with your income. Agree?
So then this payment will be made on 31st January 2024.
31st July, 31st January. So 2 payments. That's why we are dividing by 2.
Right. So when this one,
When in the sense? First payment 31st July 2024. Second payment 31st January 2025. So each 6 months basically. We're good? That is what we just discussed.
How did you have the payment of account? But Bhakti thinks itself.
Okay. So when you are paying individual income tax, we have POA method and we have the other method. POA method means we take your last year income tax. Okay, I'll use the shortcuts. Plus class 4 if this is over your PAYE. Then you are liable for POA. If not, you are going for the other category. If you are within this category, get this excess divided by 2 you need to pay. So 2 installment payments, but this is based on your last year liability, not the current year one. So once you finalize current year liability, you will have to do to adjustment. That is next year's 31st January. Yeah, okay. If your income tax and class 4 is higher than PAYE, then only you are liable for payment on account. For that also we had few exemptions. Check the tune.
So if pay is
Not check the tune, guys. We had 2 exemptions. That is, one, if the excess is less than 1,000, we simply allow you to not to classify yourself as POA. Second option, yes, you have excess, but still out of your income tax liability, more than 80% is covered by your PAYE. Then still we allowed you to skip POA. Yeah, okay. A simple revision.
Pay is higher.
No. PAY is higher, then you don't need to go for POA.
You go to other.
Yes. We are good. POA comes into the picture only if your actual liability is more than your PAY. For that also we have two exemptions. One, if the excess is less than £1,000, fine, skip POA. Or if your PAYE represents more than 80% of your income tax liability, still go for POA. Still go for other category.
Okay.
Okay, so income tax is 100,000. PAYE is 85,000. So PAYE represent 85% of your income tax liability. Then you can skip POA.
You can skip P.
Yes. You are good? Right. You guys actually study. I'm just asking. You know 1 month only. Now exactly 1 month only, to be honest. It's 3rd of November. So if you have checked your exam date, it's 3rd of December is your exam date. So it's exactly 1 month now. So Ishak, we can sleep a bit more. Sure. We can have few more funerals. Like last Thursday's one. Yes. Okay, any questions? Sorry?
Yeah, this can be
Guys,
is fine. Yeah.
I don't know the language. You understood? No? What? Okay. Skip it. Next question. Okay, you said this is very straightforward. No? Okay. Click the relevant boxes below to identify whether each of the taxes listed are direct or indirect. Thank you, Fadil. And to check whether that is revenue or capital. Inheritance. Direct or indirect? Revenue or capital? NIC. Direct or indirect? Revenue or capital? Right. So at least for that one, you know the answer correctly. Good. Only 48 more. Otherwise, you should have fine for 15 or now only 48. Try this. Try. Everyone, quickly, give it a try. So, Isha, still we are on section D. Half an hour. Okay, guys. No jokes. Answer to the question. Okay, I already got one answer. Try your new one. After that, we can discuss. Otherwise, you are a very good friend. Guys, I got 3 answers from online. Four answers. Devaki, this one you were there in the class. If I'm not mistaken, in the Asgard room. Yeah, I even remember the classroom also. Come on, guys, you can't spend this much of a time. Isha, that's the answer. Imad, Midu, Teraki, Shan, Uma, Fadil. Isha smiles, tells his answer. Yes, Midu. 1700. Answer one. Answer one. Okay. Uma, still doing. Devaki, Isha. Sorry? 1340. We don't have such an answer here. So then the B. You are going for B. 1373. Okay. Vidisha? 1460. It's not there. 2040. That is also not there. Sir? 1700. Okay. Ima? Sorry. Meantime, Anna and Tisumi, can you guys explain how you derive the answer? What? Good. Yeah, I have passed from both online and physical because you guys are easy catch. Okay, they're explaining much faster than y'all. Come on. Sorry. Okay, Fadil, how did you get your answer? 8,500, 20%. Why 20%? Basic rate. Basic rate for CGT? Okay. Yeah, partially touching. but not fully. Okay, let's do this. Okay, the key. Yeah, there again, right? Let's do this.
So they did mention if it's residential property.
Assume that it's resident.
They didn't. So what type of sales charge between paintings?
Another bucket of water.
It's not a bucket of water. Yeah, use a sledgehammer. You are. Guys, one thing. This is your exam now. So now we have to carefully read and we have to be focused. Clear? Right. So your chargeable gear is 8,500. And you have 37,700. Your basic rate. And how much is your, what do you call the trading profit? 47,000. So can I just deduct these two and get the gap?
9,300 is remaining from basic.
No. They have given your trading income. To convert that to taxable income, you have to deduct this. After that, what's the answer?
34,430.
Now the gap between 37,700 and this.
3,270.
1 second. How much?
3,270.
Okay, so up to 3,270, what can you do? Sorry?
No, you can charge 20%.
For this one. What are the CGT rates first of all? 19 and 25. Then corporation tax rate is what?
10 and
20.
10 and 20. Yeah. Okay. Then this one, how much are we going to charge? Okay, multiply by 10.
80.
Right. So what's the gap?
327.
Okay.
So, this is
So, yeah, that is the answer. That's a different story. Huh? So, this one into 10% is, right, what's the gap? The remainder? Yeah. How much is that? Right. If I multiply this into 20%,
046.
1046. How much is the total? 1,000?
Residential
You got the answer now?
8,500 minus 3%.
It is that. I didn't answer and deducted. You are finding out.
Now we are clear. Right, okay, I got few questions. Number one, they have directly given the taxable income after deducting PA. No, they have given the taxable trading profit, not taxable income. Taxable trading profit means your accounting profit converted into the tax adjusted trading profit. So it's two different figures when we say taxable trading profit and taxable income. So that is why we deducted the personal allowance. Sachin, are we okay with that? Sorry. Right. Then I have two questions. I mean, one question from two different students, that is why AEA is not deducted.
So that is for residential.
AEA was commonly given for all. Then why aren't we deducting AEA?
It should be above 100.
Above 100?
The rating.
Residential.
It's not residential, it's painting.
It's a-
So AEA is only given for residential. Okay, simple question. Why did we deduct AEA here? Yeah, we didn't deduct.
Because basic rate plan is
Okay. So why AEA is not deducted? Come on, guess. Why AEA is not considered here?
For AEA, we don't pay capital gain tax.
Okay, so then we would have deducted the 8,000 AEA from 8,500. Then only for the balance we could have charged CGT. Instead of doing that, we did not consider the EA. We straight away applied the rates. Why? Right. I'll tell you why. Generally, in your exam, if they mention the chargeable gain and they don't mention anything specifically, generally we assume that is after considering all the available allowances. That is the default assumption. Okay. So if you have any, so we had a lot of reliefs, right? Generally, when we say, yes, I know there is a terminology difference. Like if you deduct AEA and brought forward capital losses, then you derive taxable gain. That is the terminology, the generic terminology. We compute net chargeable gain. From net chargeable gain, we derive to the chargeable gain. From that, we deduct AEA, then we derive the chargeable gain. Sorry, taxable gain. That was the general terminology that we had. Agree? But in your exam, generally, this is applicable for IHT as well. If they don't specifically mention anything, we always assume the number given is after all the reliefs, unless they specifically ask us to go for the reliefs.
If the AEA, they would have given, asked us to reduce.
They will not ask us to relieve, then they will say prior to reliefs, this is the amount. AEA is also a relief. We are okay? So that is how the usual.
then they will say chargeable gain value is this much.
No, the problem is that is what they are highlighting. If you say chargeable gain, technically that is prior to AEA.
Yeah, then we should deduct AA from that.
That's the question they are asking. But we didn't deduct here. We straight they are giving a chargeable gain, right? Not the taxable gain.
So if they say taxable gain, they will deduct AEA.
That's what I'm trying to explain. Up to this whole point, that's what I was about trying to explain.
Does that apply to residential and stuff, this stuff, painting, everything? Or?
The terms are same. Whether it is residential or whatever depends, that defines only the rate. The rest of the provisions are same as it is. Only difference whether it is residential or not is the rate. So the residential story is out. Right. Secondly, coming for the terms. So the question that is raised is 100% correct. What we did was we had the sales proceeds, something. From that we used to deduct all the cost, allowable cost. Then we derived something called net chargeable gain. From that we deducted AEA and brought forward losses. Then we derived at the taxable gain. This is what we did, right? Correct? The figure right now they have given according to the terminology is this one. I'll come to that. So if we are on this figure, why we did not deduct AEA? That is the question that is raised. Is that clear first of all? What is the question? Is it clear? Right. That is the question you are asking Fauz and Sachin. Am I correct? Right. So question is 100% agreed. According to tax terminology, this is prior to deducting AEA, where we should have deducted AEA. That also we are clear. But the problem is, guys, when it comes to your exam, that is why I wanted to do past papers rather than going on to the revision kit, so that we get familiar with these kind of extraordinary stuff that your examiner does. So this is one of those areas. In IHT, sorry, we have two topics, CGT and IHT. Generally, unless they specifically mention, we have to assume the given number is after all allowances or reliefs. Let's say reliefs. That is a generic assumption when it comes to the figures that your examiner gives in the exam. So generally, if it is not prior to that, they mention this is prior to the reliefs. We are good. Same thing happens in the trading income as well. Sometimes they mention this is prior to deducting certain stuff, this is after deducting certain stuff. So this is something I know a little bit unfair, but this is something that your examiner is used to do, unless he is playing around with the words basically. So if it is prior to the allowances or reliefs, generally he specifically mentions that. We are okay? Which one?
But here they deducted a from the charge again. And a charge
That's why I'm saying the same question they asked. So term wise, the point that is raised is 100% correct. This is what I'm trying to say. So your Kaplan, your study hub, your BPP, MyTute, everything went on the method that you guys are referring to. If it is chargeable gain, you need to deduct AEA. Clear cut. But the problem is in the exam, what your examiner does it, he specifically mentioned. This is a very rare occasion where he don't mention. Specifically, he mentioned 95% of the time whether this is prior to reliefs or after reliefs. Clear? So even your total income, if you want to deduct against the total income, what they say is total income prior to QCD. There's nothing to specifically mention, right? Total income is prior to QCD. But they specifically mention that. These areas also generally they specifically mention. This is prior to allowances or prior to reliefs or after the reliefs. If they don't mention that, by default, go ahead, the given one is the red figure after adjusting everything. That's what I'm trying to say. We are good? Clear? Fauz, Sachin, are we okay? Right. Can we move on to the next question then? I didn't hear that part. So what's the date today, Fadil? I'm just asking. Great. So when is the exam? Right. How many answers you got correct? How many answers you got correct? Three. Okay. So how many marks then? Right. How many marks we have done by now? 20. So you still need a break. Pardon? Super. Anyone else who want a break? Yes, Shan, anything?
Sir, 5 minutes.
Sorry? 5 minutes more? 10 minutes.
Exactly. We may not go ahead and stay.
Let's finish section again.
Right.
Yeah.
How many hours is your paper? How many hours we stayed here? Okay, so you can't stay 3 hours and you are expecting to go and sit for a paper for 3 hours in flat. So, what should I think? But your exam is on the morning. So,
Okay, so yeah, we don't need a break.
super. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, guys, quickly this one. Already some have tried. Okay, this is the 11th question. So you know what is the nature of your exam questions now. Now we do this with timing. 2 minutes. After that, whether you've done it or not, we are starting to discuss. We have to get used to the speed. 2 minutes. I'm going to put the soft ones. I already got one answer. Fine. Second one. 13,000. You have to explain how you derived it. Good boy. Okay, I got three answers. Two online, one physical.
So 30,000.
13,000. 13,000. The others? Imad, Medusha? 13,000.
Because authentication development is the
Okay. 13,000.
Sir, authentication fees.
I don't know.
Okay, it's okay.
Ishak, can you explain? Okay. So you just deducted everything. Okay. So let's see. Comey acquired a piece of contemporary artwork for £18,000 in July 2011, incurring authentication fee of £600. Comey sold the artwork for £4,000 on 1st April 2024, incurring a gallery fee of $400. What is the allowable capital loss? Sorry, on this disposal. Okay, so 18,000 minus.
Acquisition cost.
Okay,
600 fees.
right. So that comes to 13,000. So I hope everyone is clear with this one. Finally, everyone answered to one question at least. Out of 22. Next one. Again, 2 minutes. Quickly try. Great, I got one answer. Two answers. Three. No, two, sorry. Okay, our time is up. Anyone who tried? Maybe can't be. Okay, one more minute. You have 3.6 minutes usually, so one more minute. Go ahead. And meantime, Udari and Amna, can you guys just roughly explain how you derived on your answers? That 1 minute is also done. Midhu? Isha? 43,000, okay. Himmat? Okay, I got three answers. Soumya has also given her answer. Shan? Fadil? Umar? Sorry? First one, 22,000. Okay. Devaki? Maybe or 42,800? Maybe. Okay. So then we should have a tick box in front of each answer, no? Certain? Maybe. Right. So let's read the question. Jind made the following cash gifts during his lifetime. 20th July 2015, gift to his son 260,000. 10th August 2016, a gift to his daughter 600,000. Both amounts are stated after applying any available exemptions. Jim died in 8th Jan 2023. How much inheritance tax is payable as a result of Jim's death in respect of the cash gift of £600,000 to his daughter? Sorry. First one, is it falling within the 7 years category?
Yes. Which means less than 7.
Yeah, that's what.
So, no, I
Yeah.
First one is also falling. Second one? Second one is also falling. Okay, sure.
no.
No, not first one, second one. Less than 7.
Okay, first one I'm asking, is it falling within the 7 years time back?
No.
No, it's
But
They-
that doesn't matter. Yeah. Second.
But what about your annual exemptions, nil rate ban? What will happen for those? Agree?
so I have
Please go ahead.
So if they mention, okay, here they're talking about the daughter,
Okay.
but if the son 325 million band has been played, only the remaining amount of that will be available for the daughter after 7 years unprocessed amount. Again, the daughter will have 325.
If it is beyond 7 years, whatever you freeze for 260 will also be unfrozen.
Yes.
Agree? Secondly, this one is a PET. So we are not claiming nil rate band for lifetime transfers while the donor is alive if it is a PET. Agree? Right. Then let's see what are we going to do here. So first one is out means. Second one, the value is 600,000. This is the value. Agree? But you have the nil rate band. How much?
325.
Awesome. So how much is the remainder?
275.
Then what is the IST rate?
28 by IST 29. 40%.
40%, right? This is after death. So that means how much?
100.
Then you have something called tapper relief. Can you remember? Depending on the time gap between the gift and the death. So how much is the time gap?
6 years.
6 years. Then how much is the tapper relief? Ah, nice. I shared the table with you. If you can recall, I shared the table. So then technically it should be with you guys.
Hey, 60%.
60%.
60 or 80. According to 60.
It's 80%.
80%. More than 6 but less than 7. 80%.
Correct. So then how much is the tapper relief?
88.
Then how much is the IST? You know the answer now? Clear? Uma, we are okay? You anyway got the correct answer. Devaki? Finally. Good. Isha? Great. We can sleep more, we can understand more. Or we can go out more and we can understand more. The guy next to Fazil. Okay, this one, quickly. Guys, 2 minutes again, quickly, give the answer. We have to get used to the timing now. And by the way, for theory class students, I forgot to tell one thing. There's a penalty. For those who did not attempt the mock, there is a penalty. You have to bring something to the class next week since you haven't done the mock as a penalty. I will share the second mock as well next week.
So we have time to do it? Like,
Yeah, time till today. So that's why I said next week. Good question. I will let you know after the class. Okay, we got the answers? No. Good. Give up on this question. So the others you were serious. Yes, you are.
Due date for payment, okay. First installment pay.
Okay. Let's read the question. Omega Limited has a corporation tax liability of £1,050,000 for its 7-month accounting period ended 31st July 2023. Omega Limited is a large company and has paid the corporation tax liability by installments for several years. Click on the relevant boxes below to indicate the due date and the amount of installment that they have to pay for the 7-month period ended 31st July 2023. Yes. Due date. What is the due date first of all?
So this is tax admin.
Tax admin corporation tax.
12 months.
Yeah, starting from the 7th month itself, right?
Yeah.
Then 7th month is which one? July. Deadline is 14th. So 14th July 2023 would be the due date for the first installment. That agree? Right.
So that is it. If quarterly,
They are saying it's a large company. No? If it is a large company, it's going by the quarter, right?
yeah. Otherwise 9 months.
Otherwise, 9 months. Yeah. That is after the counting period. Right. So for this one, due date, everyone is clear. We are starting from 7th month for the quarterly payments, and that is on the 14th day of the 7th month. So 7th month is July. 14th July 2023 would be the deadline, therefore, for the first installment. Value? I told you, just because it is tick here, it doesn't mean that is the correct answer. 260 to 500. Okay. 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 Then how much? Okay. So you got the answer. Ishak is explaining the correct way.
He just wants better mathematical reason.
Somehow answer is correct. No? He is getting 2 marks, right? In the exam. Isn't it, Ishak? 2 marks you got. No? So Ishak, please explain.
So installment based on that is something.
No, the problem is you can simply divide by 4 if it is a 12-month period.
Yeah.
We don't have 12 months here, right?
So it's on my period. So
Yeah.
there is 7 if it's
12 months, it should be divided by 12, right? Like you said.
Okay, but we are doing quarterly payments, no? So you can divide by 4. Agree? A quarter will have 3 months. Clear? Yeah, okay? Right. But here the problem is it's not a 12-month period. If so, if I just divide by 4, that is not giving me the quarterly payment. Not even yearly. It doesn't make any sense if I just divide by 4 in this case. So then what should I do to figure out for 3 months? Divide by 7 into 3. Agree? So 1050 divided by 7 into 3 means 450 pounds. So the answer would be 450,000 pounds as the installment payment, and the due date would be 14th July 2023. Are we good? All are clear? Midhu? Uma? Devaki? Mr. Shah? What is clear?
And
Understood what? Please explain what you understand. Okay.
with Surma, it should be divided by 7 and multiplied by 3.
If it is 10 months?
With 10, there's no 10 months.
Why? Accounting period is 10 months then.
It should be divided by 2 and 3. Divided by 10, sir.
Okay.
10 into
If it is 6 months?
so
Okay. Who knows PPIM better than anyone else? The locations?
Location.
Yes, except for you. You know. Great. Bring a broom. Or else now we are putting some bars outside. So if you can find a strong, what do you call the, yeah, tape is also fine to hang. Okay, guys, 14th question. 2 minutes, quickly do it. For this, you don't need 2 minutes. Everyone, quick, quick. First April 22, 23. Okay, the others? I got the same answer from one online as well. Same. Same again? Okay. Midhu? First April 2023. If I tick here, this is good. Calvin started his business on 1st June 2022. His sales, exclusive of VAT, £9,000 per month. And the first 3 months, that is the first 3 months. The next 3 months, his monthly sales increased to 10,000 and then 11,000 per month after that. From which date Calvin has to charge output VAT on his sales? So what is the threshold? So when you are registering for VAT, we had 3 mechanisms. Which one are we talking about here first of all? No. This has nothing to do with tax admin. Yeah. No, not class 30. Before that.
It's last Saturday, last Saturday.
Correct. So what is the threshold for VAT registration? Okay, forget about threshold. We had 3 registration methods. What were the 3? 2 compulsory?
Is it zero rated?
No, that is taxable supply. Types of taxable supply.
Voluntary.
Okay. The other 2? Great. Historic turnover test. Okay. Right. So we had 3 VAT registration mechanisms. Good. At least thanks to the tutor, you are getting the answer. Historic turnover test, future prospect test, voluntary registration. I know if I shut that Mac, the answer will be different. So, what were the thresholds? For historic turnover test, what's the threshold? If you turn off that lamp, then what's the threshold, Vidusha? Okay, maybe after the exam you can give a try to study. Ishak? Ima? What was the question, first of all? No. I asked what is the threshold for registration?
Then voluntary registration. That
It's not voluntary. No? What is confusing?
is
I understand you're super bad with us.
I have this. I can throw this. Finally. What is the registration threshold?
85.
Finally. After checking the TUTET list. Isn't it, Devaki? Good. From the page the answer is coming in, I can understand. Yes, 85,000 was the registration threshold. So how do we measure? Each month, you have to go back 12 months and see your last 12 months
okay.
VAT exclusive turnover, whether VAT exclusive turnover exclusive of capital gains as well, whether it is going beyond 85,000 threshold or not. Agree? So if it is surpassing 85,000 threshold, within 30 days you need to notify HMRC. From the first day of the second month, you are getting liable to charge VAT. Agree? Then what should you do here to figure out? First of all, you have to figure out since when are you surpassing 85,000. So first 3 months, 9,000 per month, right? Good. At least that we know. 9,000 into 3, that is 27,000. Good. Then after that, 10,000 per month for the next 3 months. Is 30,000. How much we have here? 57, right? So your limit is 85. How much is the limit? Remainder? Sorry?
22,000.
Right. So how much is the monthly turnover after that? 11,000. So that means how many months you need? 2 more months, right? So that means
So 57 minus 85 is 20. 28, sorry. Yeah.
then 3 months.
Yeah, 28. Sorry.
Then this should be 9. Agree? Clear? So you have started with 1st of June. 9 months from 1st of June means what?
Okay, first of all. 9 months from first of the-
Counting the 5th of April.
Third of April. Ah. So month counting also we need to go for a separate class.
Why is the answer in April?
That I will tell you.
We were working towards us.
Nice boys. Is it February though?
So, is it March?
March, right? 1st
Yeah.
of March.
Yeah.
It's 1st of March. 9 months means 1st of March. Yep.
Yeah. No, if we finish with 9 months, then 1st of March will be the
1st of March is the next one, no? So it's end on February. Agree? From there you have 1 month. That means until end of March you have time to register. Then 1st of April onwards you will get effective for what, isn't it? End of February is the end of your period. From that, you have 1 month. So you have time till end of March to get registered. From 1st of April onwards, you have to start charging VAT. Correct?
Yeah.
What is meant by output VAT?
7 days.
After the class. This fellow was there, right? Not 2 months, Sachin. From the second month onwards, it's effective. That's what the tune says. From the second month onwards, that means 1 month is there for registration. After that, from the second month onwards, you are getting effective. Are we okay? Right. Last question in section A. If I give this again, you will take around 30 minutes to do this section A question, no? Maria rented out a furnished room in her main residence for £900 per month. Throughout the whole year of the tax year, her expenses attributable for this room was 1,500. Assuming Maria makes any beneficial elections, what is the taxable property income? Guys, this is straightforward. 1 minute, do it. Great. How did you derive the 9,300?
He must have taken 900 minus.
Superb. Not world price, it's a universal price. Do you really think your examiner is mad enough to give something that straightforward? No. It's easy. That's a different story. Great. How did you derive that? Finally. It's a room rented out from the main residence. Then you have something called rent a room relief. You have rent a room relief. So if you have rent a room relief, compare with your actual expense against the 7,500 rent a room relief. Whichever higher, you can claim that. So in this case, 7,500 is higher. So claim that, then you will end up with 3,300. Are we okay?
Yes.
Right, okay. Today's plan was only up to 11:30. If you take the timetable, it was 11:30 today. Without informing, I cannot go beyond that.
So he said he was playing for him and drag till 1:30.
Unfortunately, can't do that because I didn't inform that in the group. So we have outside students and we are live streaming. So it's a lot of roses in TRG. So I'm informing now.
So we can lock that door.
No, Tuesday class we will have from next week onwards. We are going till 1 o'clock.
Sure.
So I'm now upfront informing.
So break time we get
That depends on how good you are answering. So, okay, thanks for the participation, everyone. And guys, you have my number in the group, those who are newly joined as well. So, if you have any suggestions or anything that you guys want to include or anything that you guys want to revise through the questions, just drop me a message in WhatsApp or SMS or whatever. I'll definitely adhere to that. Then yes, we have a question about the extra class. It's not an extra class technically. It's an extension of this whole program. So that will be for this week. It's on Tuesday from 6:45 to 8:45 p.m. because I have that ACC event on the Thursday. The other weeks we can make it on Thursday. Amna, are we okay? Amna, Saumya, are we good? Yes, the link I will arrange it and share with you guys. So let's stop at this point for today. We'll catch up on Tuesday then. See you guys. Thanks a lot for participation. Anything, just drop me a message in the WhatsApp. I will revert to you all.